Okay, so I'm pretty pumped right now. Last night I was bidding on an online auction and I won. I got a 1980 35-foot Scorpio. It was a sell-off from a boatyard for fees that were owing, and I got it for $1,830 Canadian, plus tax and fees. So it's a lot of boat for the money, and it's a bit of a gamble, I guess, because I don't know if the motor works, and I'm hoping there's no wet core and problems with the boat. Visually, it definitely needs cosmetic work. Floors rotten out inside, and moldy cushions. But other than that, it's very well equipped. It's got autopilot, and gimbal, stove, and lazy jacks, and just pretty nice, pretty sweet boat. For me, it's a big step up, and I'm hoping that it's mostly cosmetic and that I can get a lot of it done for not too much money, which is pretty rare when it comes to boats. But overall, I think as long as it doesn't sink and the motor works, I think it was a no-brainer. So the deck seems pretty sound. It's gonna need to be sealed. A little bit of cosmetic work, hopefully. That's all it is. So it's a bit of a mess inside. I've just been bailing out the water right now, but I think it's got potential. Gimbal stove with an oven. Floor's rotten. Floor doesn't bother me. That's pretty easy. There's good canvas, actually. I had a look for the Dodger and the Bimini. So I just called the trucking company, and it's not going to be feasible to truck this boat back to Guelph. It's too tall. It's 6-foot draft. The deck's about 13 feet higher than the ground already, and the trailer would bring it up even higher. And then if they used a lowboy float or something, I would have to have a crane on the other end to get the boat off. So it just doesn't make sense. It's going to be thousands and thousands of dollars, like $1,600 for the trucking, and the crane will probably cost more. So the plan now is to splash the boat here in Whitby and sail it over to Hamilton and just get it into winter storage over at Hamilton Marina. And I'll have to do the retrofit and work there. So just going to clean up the boat, throw out all the garbage right now, and then I have to come up with a plan to get this. Like, ideally I'd like to get the sails up and sail it. I don't know if the motor works, but I'm obviously going to try that as well. But I just dropped the furler down there. I don't know why it was off, but there's no forestay connected to the top of the mast. They just got a halyard on there. Clean out all this junk. Hey, look, we got a bunch of fireworks manuals. I don't do other people's microwaves or blankets or old clothes. Oh. Housewarming, boat rowing gift for me. Some snacks. Yeah, I don't think so. Looks like this guy was a Habs fan. Okay, so I just pulled the sails out of the V-berth, and looks like we got a spinnaker and a sock here as well. Hopefully the sails are good. So I don't actually know too much about boats, but this sail has 2 reefs, which is nice, and then it's got a zipper. And I thought, what's that for? And then I looked up and I think I got lazy jacks. So hopefully there is a sail bag in there. It'll be awesome. It's got a Yanmar diesel engine, which I really hope works. So originally I thought that the motor hadn't been submerged because of where the water level was, but because it tilts back here, you can see that the bottom of the, is that the gear case, or it looks like it was in the water. Okay, so I'm trying to get the air out of the system here. There is a little priming lever down there on a lifter pump, and I've got that bleeder valve loosened off. You can see the bubbles coming out there. So I've got to keep priming this thing until there's no more bubbles. After 3 or 4 years on the hard, it was time to put her back in the water and hope that she would float. Okay, so this might be one of those what have I done moments. Yeah, it's definitely leaking there. I found a small leak at one of the through hulls under the sink and decided to haul the boat back out to get this fixed. In hindsight, this leak probably wasn't big enough to cause me any concern for such a small trip, but I didn't want to take any chances. Okay, so there's another leak on that scupper drain. Should be able to close that valve. It should be okay. I've also got some rescue tape that might work. So this is the through hole that's leaking. So what I did was I just got a piece of flat bar, had to grind a little bit of a taper on it just so that it fits in there. Okay, so no sign of any water down here after sealing up that through hole yesterday. I got a bit of water in the bilge here, and it seemed to be coming through the end of this pipe. So I was a little bit worried that it might have been a keel bolt right there. And I could actually see the water sort of trickling, and I thought maybe the bolt was leaking. But I actually think that the boat wasn't sitting level on the cradle, so it was sitting kind of, you know, with the up a bit like this. And when he picked it up and put it in the water, it flattened it out. Just some water that was trapped in that drain pipe just kind of ran back by gravity in there. So okay, so what we've done is wired a remote starter switch up because I don't have a key for the boat. So hopefully turn the batteries on, give it maybe a little bit of gas or diesel. Sun is just rising behind me. I had to break into the marina the gates were locked, but I am underway, heading to Hamilton on the new boat. And I'm doing about 6 knots with the motor right now, so hopefully about 10 hours I will be there. So this is just a very lazy trip. The motor on, autopilot on, and it's plain sailing, as they say. I haven't hit anything yet, haven't had to move, haven't had to change course. So, making pretty good time, doing about 6 knots. Hope to be in Hamilton by 5 o'clock. I'm just passing the Toronto now. CN Tower there. It's one of the most visible landmarks around here from sort of anywhere in the western side of the lake. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Very relaxing.
I arrived safely in Hamilton in less than 9 hours and hauled her out the next day to get ready for the refit.